Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. When it comes to the present brothers and sisters in today's world, 21st century, how have their parents influenced the current state of these brothers and sisters? And today specifically, I'm going to address both brothers and sisters, but I'm going to focus in the latter part on sisters, the later part. Brothers, the parents didn't have, many parents did not have a lot of support, a lot of resources. So they've given it to the children now. They do their best to the point that they're disobeying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, taking interest loans, riba, incurring the curse of Allah. But they, in their mindset, father and mother, wants the best for the child. I don't want you to go through the difficulties and hardships that I've gone through. So they themselves have avoided haram their whole life, but now they're committing haram, a big haram, for the sake of their children, so they can give them an easy life. This so-called easy life that is embedded with haram, not only that it removes the barakah from this child's life, consuming haram food, but it's also making them weak. These boys are weak. We are dealing with weak boys. And there's a crisis of masculinity that I keep talking about, and people keep telling me to shut up. Shut up, brother Gabriel, you're just too freaking annoying. Okay? And I'm not, because it's reality. You don't like it, go and sleep. But we have these weak boys, and there's a crisis of masculinity, which, yeah, I know, people are going to say, now you're trying to reach to the females and you want to satisfy the females. Well, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala didn't put the females in charge. Ya Ahmed. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has put us in charge. Inni ja'ilun fil ardi khalifa. Who was the first one? Adam, not Eve. Eve was created from his rib, under, for the protection, for the care, support. So, men want these women to be like, bang. A lot of people misunderstand my videos, sadly, because they don't listen to all the videos. People start hating, hate speech on me, blah, 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 whatever. Doesn't matter. But brother and sister, listen. Just listen to this video, inshallah. Right? Men are weak because in some, I'm not saying every man now. Now you're gonna, of course, brother's gonna watch this video and be like, that's not me, my parents, I had a hard life. Yes, I know, I'm going to talk about that as well. But a lot of boys are weak because their parents did not want them to experience the same difficulties that they experience. So they give them, they spoon feed them. So they create these boys, especially the mama boys, right? The mamas do this a lot. So there's a lot of mama boys who are spoon fed, and then the mama looks, through the aunties, the great network, gets the nice, beautiful looking girl, and then maybe that girl is a woman, mashallah, she's good, hafidha, mashallah, and she married a boy. And she's suffering because, subhanAllah, I had clients that sleep still with their mothers in their beds, man. Like, the wife was complaining that my husband still goes to sleep in his mother's bed, and she knows everything about our intimate life and this is not one case. So you got mama's boys, who are weak. So these girls marry them, and then these girls start, because the energy is not balanced. This guy's he's weak. He's a girl. So then the woman now starts becoming a man. So her energy is like, boom, masculine, strong, starts being assertive, starts taking care of things. Like, he's not giving me anything, he's not doing this, I got to do it myself. He can't even open a door for me. He can't even look at me. He can't even ask me, are you okay? If I'm sick, something. He just self-centered, mama's boy, spoon-fed, never gone through any difficulty in life. And of course, men is not going to work because there's an imbalance. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made us to complement each other. Yes, I know there's other issues. Yes, I know You have to understand the equation, the axes are X, Y, Z. There's so many different axes. It's not just linear. Because now brothers will say, yeah, but what about those women who are acting up? Of course women will act up. But you see, my argument here is that first and foremost, men are responsible. Why? Because I say so because I want to get women followers. I don't care about women followers. It's because Allah has put us to be responsible, my man. Now that's it. I mean, refute that. You can refute me as much as you want, but refute the fact that Allah has put us to be responsible and accountable. All right? You cannot refute that. So yeah, women are going to misbehave, yes, but we allow them to misbehave. We allow them. Now, yes, they've created their own systems and their own, problems. Yes, no doubt. You know it. 100%. They've done that. And now they're smashing back at us. But you have to understand, every cause has a reaction. The archers disobeyed the Prophet ﷺ. The Muslims lost the battle. You need to understand this, man. All right? So, spoon-fed boys. Then you got the boys, rough boys, because their parents didn't work hard to help them, to at least support them, to spend time, to do something for them, right? You have that as well. You have to understand. You got that part as well, and that's an imbalance. That's not good either. Parents do have to support their children. That's the whole point. You got the fathers, no, I want them to go and do whatever. The guy wants some support to get married. No, he needs to do himself. When he's 30, 35, he can't get married. I'm not going to help him. Well, you could, mashallah, he's got money and everything. You could support him. You can help him get married in his 20s. No, because he wants to rough him up. Both people are on the wrong path, man. What's these, they're extremes. All right, let's get to the women now. I know you're not going to like this, but it's the reality. See, with the women, again, both father and mother can be blamed. And this is not the point of the video, is not to blame parents. I don't want you now to go, if you sync with this video or you identify with this video, to go and start talking to your parents and be disrespectful. That's not what I want you to do. Something about yourself, and I want you to do something with how you're gonna raise your children, inshallah, that you're not gonna make the same mistake. But you see, let's start with fathers. Fathers, they look at daughters, and sometimes these fathers don't have boys. They don't have male children. And they start treating their girls like males. Oh, you gotta do your education, you gotta do your PhD. I had a client who was crying. She's like, I don't wanna do my PhD. I wanna get married, have children. But my father's pushing me like a boy. The fathers are pushing them. What happened to the fathers protects his girl? The fathers are now telling the girls, go out, go mix, go do this, go do that, go. And I'm not talking about here, there's no right for education. I'm not talking about that women shouldn't be educated, blah, blah, blah. No. Come on. What I'm talking about, guys, I'm talking about the reality of people who don't care whether they're daughters and what they're doing. They don't have this ghira anymore. The father's telling them, you got to do this and that. It's all money centric, driven by achievements. And like, bro, he's not Ahmed. She is Aisha. Take it easy on her. No, she got to do this and this, everything, their whole lives. If you look at some men of today, modern men, Muslim men who have girls, in the West specifically, man, the way they deal with them, yeah, they treat them nice and this and that, but it's like, bro, they're not your boys. Protect them. Yeah, educate them, as the Prophet ﷺ said. Someone who takes care of them, educates them. 2, 3 girls, they'll enter Jannah. 2 girls, even. 1 girl, even. But you don't throw them to the sharks, man. Because you want them to realize the dreams that you have failed. And that's one very important thing you got to mark, brothers and sisters. Sometimes our parents project on us the failure of their dreams, or the dreams of the success that they wanted to have, but they couldn't, but they failed. So they want us. It's a noble thing. It's nice that they want us to succeed, but we are not them. And a lot of times we see now revival of knowledge and of sunnah and so on. But a lot of our parents were not in that. They were in that time of a lot of, especially in the Muslim countries, the 70s, the 60s, the 70s, the 80s were very rough times from an Islamic perspective across the Muslim world. You know it. So a lot of them were not raised with Islam-centric understanding, lifestyle. They want good for us. I know that, and they're sincere. But people can be sincerely wrong, and you know that. So, fathers make this mistake. Mothers might have a bad relationship with their husbands, and they tell their daughters, don't get married, delay. You know what they say? They say, have stability, independence. So it's like almost like insurance. Like, I stayed with your father, but I've suffered. I don't want you to do the same thing. How do you know she's gonna suffer or she's gonna have the same type of man that you had? And even that can be debated, whether you're right or wrong in complaining and nagging about your husband. Even that can be debated. You know that. But you see, they look at their daughters and they say, I don't want you to fail like I failed. I was in a horrible, miserable marriage. I stayed for the sake of culture, this, that, family, blah. But times have changed. You don't have to do the same thing as me. So again, they're projecting that dream of the success or that fear of failure onto their daughters, and they give them the wrong advice. Go out there, go do whatever, live your life, be independent, so that when you get this bad man, you can just leave him and not have a problem. Yes, some marriages will fail. Yes, some men are bad. Yes, some women are bad. But you cannot predict that your daughter is going to have a failed marriage just because you had a failed marriage. You cannot guarantee and predict that your daughter is going to have a bad life. But what you are doing for sure is that you are destroying her possibility, her ability to have a loving marriage, because you're already scaring her. This gamophobia, this fear of marriage. And of course, she has an example. She probably grew up seeing you as a mother and your husband fighting and arguing. And a lot of clients come to me and says, I don't want to get married. I'm scared because what I've seen from my parents. So when the mother reinforces that with her saying, look, daughter, you just got to have your own life. Don't rush into get married. Don't have children. Live your life. Be independent. Travel now. They say travel. Be happy, this and that. And the girls do it. And then finally, who knows what happens if they don't end up in haram, if they don't become lesbians, if they don't, all kinds of things that we see today else. And again, you guys don't like me talking like this, but you know it's real talk. You don't like it because it's real talk, because you see this in your universities. You see these in your schools. You see this in what you see. And you don't like it. Of course you don't like it. But it is real. You can't take that away. That it is real talk. So the girl says, okay, so she delays the marriage if she doesn't fall into haram. And finally, she delays the marriage. Finally, she gets married when she's like 30 or something like that. Then she starts, intimacy is not good. The guy doesn't care about it. We can't mix. Our approaches are different. Everything is different. I don't know if I can deal with this. I don't know if I can live with this. I don't know what to say. I might as well divorce. And divorce rates are staggering. Do a bit of research. So, dear parents, maybe for you it's too late. But for you, brothers and sisters, in your 20s, you're not married yet or whatever, you can change your mindset today. You can change your mindset today. Will things go south? Maybe. Maybe things will not work out. Of course, there's that possibility. But I guarantee if you have this negative mindset from the beginning, you will fail. You will fail. But if you try to be positive, there's a great chance that you can make things out. It takes sacrifice. It takes cooperation for a marriage to work. not just my way or the highway. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless all of you. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.